It's time for the daily edition of Litter Media Live on this final day of July 2025. I'm Dan Ramey, he's Mike Smith, and over here is Aaron Glandon. Good to have you with us today. Good to be back. We made a trip up to Columbus yesterday, Aaron and I did, so I was not able to be in studio, and you guys performed some magic, didn't you? He's not going to talk about it because he's got his mouth full of food right now. McDonald's
He's making
French
magic
fries.
with that French fry right now.
Yeah. How'd you get French fries? I thought you were going for breakfast.
Well, it was 10:40 when I left.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, after 10:30.
I actually ordered breakfast during our interview with Tiffany Baldwin, and then I went to go get it. And I get there, and I'm in the drive-thru, and I look at my phone, and it says order canceled. So I had to change gears.
Oh, I see.
I didn't hold it for you.
I wondered, I've never experienced that, so I've not,
Well, he's not Dan Ramey.
True.
Special favors here for Mr. Golden Arches.
The old golden boy or pearl boy.
Golden
Arches.
Yeah, the whole thing.
I've had all kinds of names. Let's take a look at the forecast for today and how things are shaping up. I hear it's cooling off.
It felt pretty good when I went out this morning. There is a chance of a shower or a thunderstorm this afternoon. You can see there around 2 or between 2 and 5 o'clock. But that's the system that's coming in and that's going to cool things off. While we might see a high of about 83 today, it's down to 78 with sunshine tomorrow for the weekend, sunny skies. Highs 78 on Saturday. And then for the first day of the Ross County Fair, which officially is Sunday, look for about 81, I think, on Sunday. Rain comes back into the picture Monday through Wednesday, but still cool temperatures along with that.
Need to say happy birthday to my niece, Lisa. She is celebrating, well, I'm not going to say what number, but she has been a longtime teacher at Scioto Township Elementary up in Tays Valley School District. She has followed in her mother's footsteps, and she and her husband, Matt, recently celebrated their 25th wedding anniversary. So congratulations to Lisa and Matt Ridley. All right, coming up in a moment, we'll get you caught up to date on what's news and what's sports and what's this date in history. That's all just ahead. But first, let's tell you about the Skag clearance sale going on now at Hometown Motors Incorporated. hometown-motors.com, or you can stop in and see them at 818 Eastern Avenue in Chillicothe. You can choose from a wide selection of Skag mowing equipment, just like what you see on the screen here. But you'd better hurry. Once clearance inventory is gone, it's gone, and the low prices go with them. You can give them a call at 740-773-8826 for more information on hometownmotors.com and the Skag clearance sale. Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Tecumseh. Fascinating. Captivating. Mesmerizing. Tecumseh.
Dixie Chopper, speed when you need it. Visit your local Dixie Chopper dealer today or visit dixiechopper.com.
A look at news for you. You can always go and find it on our website, littermedia.com, or we have links involved with our social media too. All that information is available up in the upper right-hand corner of littermedia.com.
This Saturday, Chillicothe Trails looking to round up as many volunteers as possible to continue building new trails at Ohio University Chillicothe. That'll take place between 9 and noon. Bring a water bottle, some gloves, and some muscle as they'll be training you on how to build trails. They'll be using some hose that were provided by the Ross County Park District to cut fresh trails or improve upon the work already started. Now, to create trails, they basically remove dirt from the upslope of the hill and pull it down. Chillicothe Trails is working to create trails that are 4 feet wide and will be sustainable for many years to come.
Ohio Governor Mike DeWine and the Ohio Department of Transportation Director Pamela Boratin, they have announced details on a new plan to address the shortage of safe, accessible commercial truck parking in Ohio by adding at least 1,400 new truck parking spaces across the state. Following an extensive review of ODOT property, Ohio has identified 33 sites in 19 counties where long-term truck parking lots will be created or expanded, much like what we have on 23 here in Ross County, more than doubling the current truck parking capacity at ODOT maintained sites. Those include Ross County, the old Way Station, and also over in Fayette counties as well.
Ross County Animal Shelter is looking for some local fosters who are able to care for puppies ranging in age from 5 weeks to 6 months. Currently, they have about 40 puppies in the program, puppies that they said that there was just no option. They had to take them in, but they just don't have the room to keep them there at the shelter. So if you'd like to foster some of these little puppies, give the Ross Humane Society or the animal shelter there a call.
Pike County Fair continues down in Piketon, and Thursday's lineup shows the Sheep Show, which is going on now. Also the Beef Showmanship at 1 p.m. Clover Bud's graduation is 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. the Beef Feeder Calf Show and Horse Fun Show. At 6:30, it's the Market Steer Show, and the Grandstand has the Pike County Idol Singing Contest tonight. I want to take a quick moment to say congratulations to one of my Sunday school students, Chloe Ahrens, won her division in the Market Rabbit. So congratulations, Chloe. Pretty cool for an incoming senior at Piketon High School. Kevin Prickett and Kelly Detillion, they were in today in studio to talk about the Zane Trace FTO sausage booth at next week's Ross County Fair. We're trying to get details of that for you right now on screen. Kevin shared his insight on the booth's beginnings, and Kelly's father, we might remember, is Pete Dunkel. Pete was a staple at the sausage booth, and she talked about his involvement of the booth.
When my dad came to Zane Trace, he was the principal and then went on to be the superintendent, and he just back in the 90s, maybe beforehand, the more he was involved, the more he took off with it. And whenever he got a hold of something, he wasn't happy with just doing something at ground level. He did it 300 times what it should have been. So we all chipped in and we would help out. He would start probably in June, preparing, getting bags of ice done, cleaning, taking inventory, what needed to be done. He would make a list for his list, get workers. That was the main thing. Teachers is the big bulk of the workers, shifts. And he would always introduce different items. I think the more recent item, maybe in the last 15 or 20 years for breakfast, was the biscuits and gravy. He didn't think it would be a hit, and I think it's one of the more popular items for the breakfast.
A gentleman and his wife named Ronnie and Evelyn Montgomery are kind of the ones that started it, got the idea and so forth, and they went to the school, and the school agreed that they should, tried to pursue that, and they put a booth out to the fairgrounds and they started frying sausage. And as I understand it, they contacted Bob Evans, and he agreed to allow them to use his product. It was one of the first fairs in the state to do that, as far as that goes. And he came down and gave him lessons on how to properly prepare his sausage, and it's been that way for the last 64 years, I guess.
And of course, the sausage booth is available. It opens probably this weekend, I'm going to guess. They said if you still like to participate and help out, you can. They're signing up people to work that booth. And it used to be PTO, but now it's the Zane Trace FTO, which is Family Teachers in Organizations.
If you're looking for a way to support the Ross County 4-H programs, how about putting in to win a quilt? Yeah. You can check this out each day at the 4-H booth. They're having a silent auction for a quilt. And again, you can bid on this anytime you go in and out at the fair. They will announce a winner after the fair wraps up. But you go into the junior fair office 9 a.m. to 4:30 each day of the fair to put a bid in on that silent auction. And the public is invited to join Pickaway County Treasurer Ellery on Saturday of this week for his retirement celebration. Ellery, who's been in office since 2003, they'll have that celebration from 3 to 5 p.m. at the South Bloomfield Methodist Church on West 2nd Street in South Bloomfield. I actually knew his wife, Pam, before I knew Ellery, because Pam used to be one of the aides for then Secretary of State Sherrod Brown, before Sherrod went to the United States Senate. And then I think I met Ellery one time when she was doing some kind of a public event. And of course, then later Ellery was elected to public office, and he's been, was very, very involved for many years also with the Pickaway County Fair. And I don't know if he's been involved with the fair for the last several years or not, but long time familiar face in Pickaway County, retiring. Our road report reminds you of that resurfacing project that's taking place in Great Seal Park. They have one lane maintained at all times. Now that project will go through next summer, not just 25. They'll be working on it again next summer as well. They'll suspend it during the cold weather months, but pick it back up next spring and summer.
A lot of people here in Chillicothe can't wait for October so that they can get back to some normalcy on North Bridge Street.
Right.
Keeping that in mind as well. Up ahead, we'll take a look at sports in just a matter of moments. But first, let's tell you about Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor. Been doing this since 1977, putting things right in your home and in your business. You want to find out more about what they do and where they service? Click on this ad anywhere you see it on our website, littermedia.com. It takes you to AccurateHVAC.com.
Whenever I first applied for the ArchWiz opportunity, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Like, is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, like to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
The Bean Foundation wants to raise awareness about suicide prevention by sharing 988. Trained crisis counselors are available to talk 24/7, 365 days a year. 988. Save the number. Save a life. To learn more about the Bean Foundation, click on this ad on littermedia.com.
Leading off in our sports, Aaron Glandon and I made a trip up to Columbus yesterday, and we met with the Ohio High School Athletic Association and their sports broadcasters. And the special speaker for the day there that you see is the voice of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Tim Alcorn, and he had a lot of neat stories to share with us. One of those was somebody asked him along the NBA line, so where'd you come from? What'd you do? And he says, well, Friday night I was doing an Ellery Catholic high school football game, And so they were all kind of surprised because from what he has been told, he is the first voice of an NBA team to go from high school right to the NBA.
How about that?
That is pretty cool. But he led off with talking about Johnny Most and also Joe Tate. So both Most and Tate were longtime voices of their respective franchises, Most with Boston and Tate with Cleveland. And he said, my first game I ever went to with a media pass was a Boston Celtics Cleveland Cavaliers game at Richland Coliseum. He says, I walked right up and I went over to Joe Tate and wanted to thank him and everything. He says, sit down. He's like, what? Sit down. So he made him sit down and talk with him. Mm-hmm. He asked him who he was. And so he said, we became, tight.
Yeah.
And so he mentored him throughout his broadcasting career. And now for 7 seasons, he's been doing the Cleveland Cavalier games. Doug Ute, the commissioner for the OHSAA, was in, and he was asked about the NIL coming to high school sports. He said, and this was not really a heated discussion, but it was a passionate discussion, because he said it's coming. But he says what we need to decide is if it's going to come from the governor's office down in Columbus. Is it going to come from the courts, or does it come from the OHSAA? And he says if it comes from the OHSAA, we've got a better opportunity of governing it and laying out the playing rules, so to speak, on it. He also talked about the expansion to 7 divisions. And I brought up, I raised my hand and I said, thank you for that, but it's really created a difficult thing for us in the opening rounds to be able to decide where to go. We have to basically cannibalize what we intended on doing. And it was similar feeling around the rest of the room. And he says, basically, I'm going to have to let you guys figure that out. And so it just makes tough decisions for we in the media to be able to do that unless you have additional outlets that you can spread things across. So whether or not that'll change, I don't know. But he did say it gives more kids an opportunity, and it helps out the competitive balance issues that they've been dealing with in previous years. So
you may have some argue with that, because if you have private schools that filter out over the all 7, it didn't help. But that's a whole nother argument altogether. You were talking about Johnny Most. You ever hear Johnny Most?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, real grappling. And that's the way he was his entire career, and he's a Hall of Famer. Yeah. So it's not always about the quality of your voice. It's the quality of the passion you put in and the knowledge of the game. The site of Valley Conference has decided not to host exhibition previews for volleyball and basketball for the upcoming school year. First time since the early 90s. SVC Secretary Dr. Chris Good confirmed to me the other night, quote, after much discussion, it's been decided to discontinue the volleyball and basketball previews for this year, but it'll be reevaluated next year, unquote. As we said, the preview's been going since the early 90s, and it has served as one of the revenue sources for the conference to pay for team and player postseason awards. There was a period, I think it lasted maybe 2 or 3 years in the 90s, where football had a preview on a Saturday night. That didn't last because the previews also count as a scrimmage. And the football coaches said, it takes away a scrimmage that we need. So that didn't last long. So basically it was up to volleyball and football to carry the load to try to bring in money for the postseason awards. Well, I think because the crowds have just bluntly have gone down for the previews over the last decade or so. I think they've raised the rate for the school to pay to be an SVC member, and that's taking care of some of the expense for paying for these trophies and plaques and things of that nature in the postseason. Well, the Chillicothe Paints are going to wrap up their season tonight, and it's going to be Fan Appreciation Night. But last night, they split. They lost 5-3 to the Kings, and then they won the nightcap by a score of 6-5. There's post-game fireworks tonight, compliments of Budweiser. So say goodbye to the Paints for 2025 out at VA Memorial Stadium later tonight.
Yeah, it does wrap up their season. And not the season they wanted to have, but the Aviators have been their nemesis this year. Really have. The Reds avoided a sweep by the Dodgers with a 5-2 win. It was tied 2-2, and then a 3-run triple by Spencer Steer changed that up, and the Reds go on to victory. They still are the only team in Major League Baseball that hasn't been swept in a series. Of course, we say that. Now they take on Atlanta. Atlanta comes in and watch what happens. But Atlanta comes in not as strong as they've been in recent years, and so they will go at it tonight in Cincinnati, tomorrow at noon, and then they will head to Bristol, Tennessee for the big NASCAR baseball. I can't remember what they're calling it, but it's a showdown at the Bristol Motor Speedway.
And they're off on Sunday. I had to double check that because that seemed odd, but because of the travel back down to Tennessee.
Yeah.
Now, is that considered a home game for the Reds?
Yes.
So I wonder if they get any of the gate.
They ought to.
Because you're going to lose concessions, revenues. They're
one of the smallest market teams, and you're taking from their
I think I saw that they've already sold 85,000 tickets, but they're expecting it to eclipse the existing Major League Baseball regular season record of 85,500 and something, which was set at Cleveland's old ballpark, where they shared that with the Browns.
Yeah. So I'm trying to remember. It seems Bristol Motor Speedway can seat 150,000, I think, because there was talk of Tennessee hosting a team there at some point in time. But I don't know that ever happened, but this is the first time something like this has happened in Major League Baseball.
Right.
So that's pretty cool. Yeah. We like seeing that. And the Guardians blanked the Rockies 5-0 last night. They are off today and will be home with the Minnesota Twins tomorrow, heading into the weekend. Coming up, we'll go back to 1964 on this date in history. Stick close for that.
I want to remind you about our sponsor, Litter Quality Propane. They've been in business for up towards 100 years, getting closer to that century mark each year, serving propane users in southern and central Ohio. Reliable supply, reliable service, reliable people. Litter Quality Propane.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing, download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today.
Pain was interfering with Tiffany's active lifestyle. Same-day hip replacement at the Adina Orthopedic and Spine Institute got her back to the community she calls home. At Adina, we do what we love, so you can too.
Life. It can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week. And one pet will be crowned Pet of the Year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Pet of the Week. Tell us about your pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. No purchase necessary. Contest applications must be from Ohio residents and at least 18 years old.
Before we get to this date in history, it's time for the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week, which comes to us from Hannah Banana. I like her email handler. Flapjack Fondler.
Look at that cat.
Hannah nominated her handsome 7-year-old baby boy, Frankie. She says he is so sweet, loving, and always wanting to curl up under the blankets with me. He is a true companion. Congratulations, Frankie. He looks like he's bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, but I've never seen a bushy-tailed cat.
This looks like this could be a movie star cat. Look at the symmetry of all of his colors.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, almost identical on both sides. That's a pretty looking cat.
He looks a lot like our oldest cat, Joey. And you see where the corners of his eyes, it's like the eyeliner continues out the side of his head. Joey is like that too. And I always call him Sophisticat because he looks so sophisticated in his pictures that he has. If you would like to nominate your pet, email littermedia@gmail.com. Tell us about your pet and remember to include a photo. And if you want to see all the pets of the week for 2025, visit littermedia.com and click on Petland Pet of the Week. In December, we'll announce the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Year. And the pet will receive a trophy and something really nice from Petland.
I think we could use a movie star cat. I mean, we've not had a Rin Tin Tin kitty. Garfield doesn't really count. That's animated. Because Rin Tin Tin was a real dog.
Dogs have like Air Bud and all them. But what do the cats have?
We don't have a lot of cats, do we? We have Born Free. That's a different kind of cat.
Unless they felt like they couldn't train a kitty as well as a dog.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you got the Lion King, but again, that's animated.
They have the cat in Homeward Bound.
That is true.
I don't remember. What was the name?
I don't remember the name of that cat.
It's not famous.
But it was a group of 2 dogs and 1 cat. So I don't know if that really counts.
Yeah.
Well, the difficult thing is dogs are easier to train than cats are because dogs are faithful to you. Cats own you when it comes right down to it. So,
and if you didn't remember one of our past this date in histories, Rin Tin Tin not only was a real dog, that was his name. Do you remember where Rin Tin Tin, the dog, came from?
Military?
He was brought back from World War I. He was a German dog. The Germans were using.
He was a German Shepherd.
Yeah. So they got this dog, and they brought him back, trained him, and he became back then it was silent movies.
Yeah.
Where he became a star. But I think that carried over into the talkies. Although I don't think Rin Tin Tin ever said anything more than, "Roof." This date in history.
I'm sure it was a little more manly than that.
1964, Ranger 7, an unmanned U.S. lunar probe, takes the first close-up images of the moon. In fact, 4,308 pictures in total before it impacts with the lunar surface northwest of the Sea of Clouds. The images were 1,000 times as clear as anything ever seen through earthbound telescopes up to that point.
It crashed.
It crashed after it took the pictures. And it sounds like that was playing. But they radioed the pictures back to Earth, and that was the clearest of anything that we'd ever seen, actual pictures of the moon to that point.
Very cool.
Ranger 7, 1964.
Nice. Let's see. Tomorrow is the start of a new month. We'll have August here. We will have the Ross County Fair be cranking up this weekend. We've got the Pike County Fair cranking down this weekend. And before you know it, it's back to school, kids.
Oops.
Hard to say
You just
that.
lost half our audience. You had to remind me.
All right, but I don't think we have a special event scheduled for tomorrow. No. So take a look at our YouTube channel. You'll see all of our daily shows that we've had, but also the special editions, which include this week, today, talking about the Zane Trace FTO sausage booth, also Sand in the Streets volleyball with Tiffany Baldwin. And we had a couple of others earlier in the week, too. So check it all out. It's available for you to peruse on our YouTube channel and also here in the videos section on our Facebook page. And you'll hear those on Litter Media Radio as well.
Our buddy Traffic Light Sports helping us out. We appreciate that. He says, yes, the Reds will receive proceeds from ticket sales at Bristol.
Very good. Thank you, Traffic Light Sports.
Yeah. So that'll equal probably more than 2 games of a full house for them.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
It is worth it. And a short drive for the folks from Atlanta.
Yeah.
To make the trip up there, too. All right, that's it for the program. Enjoy the rest of your July 31st. We'll see you tomorrow with another edition of Litter Media Live.